So we have a few people still coming in, but we're going to get going here and start using the time we have. It's great to see so many of you here today. Welcome to Canada. I'm a Canadian as well. And there's a few things you need to know. First of all, thank you for being culturally sensitive and talking about the Harbor Castle Hilton. There's a funny U in there for some of you. But unless you're from Boston, you're all pronouncing it properly. So that's been very nice. Thank you. The other thing you'll notice a little later, we'll have some swag. Thank you to Torix and Kevin. Want to be very careful. It is called a toque. T-O-Q-U-E. It is not a beanie, all right? It's a toque. So thank you for coming. It's great to have you all here. My name is Jonathan Black. I'm the Executive Director of NANOG, and it's really good to see you here. We have over 800 registered in person. This session is going to be a little bit tight. We don't quite have enough seats for everyone who's registered, we don't think. But later in the day, as you all know, this room will thin out. So it's tradition in Canada to have a land acknowledgement in advance of as sessions kick off. There are several purposes for that. You'll see that on the screen. It's recognizing the First Nations heritage on the land we are on. It's time for reflection, and it's time for reconciling and rebuilding those relationships. So we're going to do that, and I'll invite you just to listen as we have our land acknowledgement. We acknowledge that the land we're meeting on today is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabes, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat people. It's now home to many diverse nations, Inuit and Métis people as well. And welcome to Toronto. I hope you've enjoyed your stay so far. Some fun facts. Toronto is also called the Six. Some of you may not know why. It's confusing. Why would you pick a number? It's not a prime number. It's not that interesting. So the story is, the history is, the area code, yes, landline telephone area code for Toronto was 416. As the area grew, and the numbers didn't fit the population anymore, they added 905. And if you're not from the 6, if you're not from 416, you're just not cool enough, say some of our rap artists in Canada. The 401, it's not the 401, the 401 is one of the largest and busiest highways in North America. Don't test me on it, just don't drive on it. At some points, it's 18 lanes wide, and as I've driven through the highways in LA and Atlanta, I still think the 401 is busier and larger. There are some sources, you can check that if you like. University of Toronto, 40,000 undergrads, 20,000 grad students, largest in Canada. Wonderful claim to fame, their 2023 engineering class in electrical and computer engineering, 40% female. Other interesting fact there, it is named the Edward S. Rogers Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering. That is from the Rogers, that's due to a gift from the Rogers family. You may be picking up some themes here. Rogers Communications is one of our sponsors, and that's the family that endowed some money to the school. The Toronto Path is the largest underground shopping mall in the world. So 27 kilometers, for those of you who are still in miles, it's 17 miles of underground shopping. The irony of all of that is we're actually on land that was reclaimed from Lake Ontario, so the underground doesn't work in this area. You have to go just the other side of the train tracks, and then you're actually underground. If you want to enter it, you go above ground, you go up a level across the street, but you can travel for quite a ways underground. It's a wonderful thing in the winter in Toronto. When the weather's not great, you can take the subway into downtown and make it to your office underground. Conference Wireless, most of you know this already. We dropped one of them, but your devices should be online and going. You can connect into that. Also, there's information on it at the help desk in the registration area. Conference stats. As of yesterday evening, 821, we're up almost over 840 right now. It's been great. We're trying to figure out why. We're happy, but we'd love to have this kind of attendance again at all of our events, but it's good to see all of you here. New at 92. So hackathon, we're running the hackathon during the event. It did not happen yesterday. If you'd like to participate, you can still get involved. In fact, if you're really good, you could even join tomorrow at noon and maybe get through all the challenges before the end of the day. There's information at the community help desk or the committee help desk in the registration area. Network lounge, there's going to be a puzzle table out. And this evening, there's going to be some board games. If you just want to hang out with some NANOG people, go see who's there. That will be open and available for you. Probably be quieter than the hotel bar, but probably also less alcohol. The NANOG ambassadors are new this year. If you have questions about the event, the venue, or NANOG itself, there are ambassadors walking around. They have the purple ribbon and purple lanyard. You can ask them questions about the event. You can ask them to introduce you to certain people, find out about the committees. They are ready to talk with you and make you feel welcome. You can always also go to the help desk in the committees area or the registration area. Presentation transcriptions. Off of the agenda and the speaker's notes page, there is a transcription service. So feel free to do that. This year it's only in English, but you can see a text of the event happening there in real time. T-shirts. I don't think we put a note about T-shirts. Canadian Customs has a problem with T-shirts coming into the country. We're not sure why. We do not have them for you yet. If we get them in time, we will get them out to you. If we don't, we'll have them at the next NANOG event. Board elections. This is the meeting where we really kick off the in-person part of the elections. If you become a NANOG member, you can vote, and there will be a session tomorrow, I believe, where you can hear from the candidates themselves. As always, a special thank you to all of our sponsors. Our meeting host is Torix. You'll hear from Kevin Blumberg in a minute. They are the meeting host, and it's fantastic to have such a great IX being very close physically to us and sponsoring our event. And actually, I'm taking Kevin's slides. So Kevin, come on up.
Thank you, Jonathan. So, first of all, I was given 5 US minutes, so that's 7.5 minutes just to annoy Valerie a little bit here. It's been a while since Torix, since NANOG has been in Toronto, and I wanted to sort of do a little quick timeline because I think it's actually enjoyable looking back on the days. Torix, if you're not aware, is the internet exchange point in Toronto. We are one of many internet exchanges in Canada. Many of us are not-for-profit. We're community-driven, and many of them are in the room, the other IXs. So please seek us all out. It's not just about Toronto. Internet exchanges are good for everybody. So let's talk about the history. We started in '97, dial-up, if everybody remembers that. We hit 1 gigabit. You know, that sounds like a lot then, but not so much now. For our errand folks in the room, we enabled V6 in 2006, and we're still working on it with our peers to get more and more V6 deployed. So it's a work in progress. Last NANOG was NANOG 39. 84 peers we had at the time. We had 5 gigabit of traffic. And the most important part, why the path, as Jonathan was mentioning, was so important. It was -15, -18, plus wind chill. We actually care about wind chill here. So that was 38-degree delta from today to back then. And for our US folks, that's 68.4 Fahrenheit difference in temperature. Move over to 2012, we hit 100 gigabit. So that's 12 years ago, we hit 100 gigabit. And we've been running Stratum 1 time services publicly since then as well. If we can go to the next slide. Push button. So where are we today? We're doing 2.3 terabit. We've got 300 peers. We're doing 400 gig service. We retired 1 gig last year. It's gone. And we've grown from 2 sites back in 2007 to 3 sites and 7 POPs. So we've grown massively. What are we looking to do? Telemetry. We want to know when things fail before they fail. SNMP, for the techies in the room, just doesn't give us that visibility. And so we're working on a lot of cool stuff with telemetry. to actually know when things are going to fail before they fail so that we can all sleep better at night. We're expanding. We're always looking to expand. So if anybody has some interesting ideas about POP expansions in Toronto, we'd love to hear from you. But it is that balance between getting to you and you getting to us. And there's that fine balance, and we'd love to see if there are other places that we can do that. We're replacing our route servers. That's the next big project for us in 25. One of the things that's important, I think, for everybody in this room is consistency. So we're going to be matching the community's strings of many of the larger IXs in the world. So that it just makes it that much easier. You don't need to have differences for every single exchange. We're just trying to homogenize that and make it simpler for people. And lastly, life cycle refreshes. COVID, that four-letter evil word, caused a lot of life cycle problems for a lot of people, and it's become even more important to replace things before they need to be replaced, not after they needed to be replaced. Get it done and have a consistent life cycle, and that's one of the things we're working on. So that's where we're at today. Now the most important part. We want to hear from you. You can send us email. You can meet us in person at the Wellington Room. You can use carrier pigeon if you still operate your IP that way. Any of them is fine, but we really do need to hear from you. Part of the problem we have today is things just work, and as things just work, people engage less and less. And so it's very important, even when everything is working and everything is happy, we'd like to hear from you, your plans, your ideas, etc., because it's becoming harder as things just work to have that engagement. And lastly, volunteers are the backbone for NANOG, for the community, for internet exchanges, for the entire internet process. I would like every volunteer in this room who has worked and helped an internet exchange, an RFC, the NANOG program committee, the board of directors, every single one of you to stand up now, because you all really deserve a round of applause. So come on, guys, girls, up. The internet is powered by volunteerism. Please seek out the volunteers. You yourself, try it. You will like it. Thank you. Very good. Oh. Yeah.
Stevan Plote will be up in a minute to talk about the program committee and what's up. Thank you to our premium sponsors. They are key to the ongoing operation of NANOG. They're with us for multiple meetings for AWS, Aaron, IBM, BlueCat, VeriSign, and Equinix. Thank you so much for your ongoing support. Meeting connectivity, Rogers, Juniper Meraki, thank you as well. We mentioned Rogers a little earlier. They have provided us some fiber connection into the building. Espresso Bar, I know you all love that sponsorship. Yes, and the Network Lounge, thank you. We have some great beer and gear sponsors. I know you're looking forward to that tomorrow evening, so please go and visit them at their tables, find out about their gear and their services. Peering sponsors as well, always important to the efficient operation of a NANOG and all of your needs while you're here. Showcase sponsors in the Network Lounge where you registered this morning. These companies will have tables set up for half days today, tomorrow. Go visit them, find out, learn about what they're doing, what they can offer, how they can help. DEI lunch, the Women in Tech Mixer last night was a fantastic event. They kicked me out. I went in, I only lasted 30 seconds and they said, you are out of here, but it was a good event. I heard, looked like they had some fun in there. Social events as well coming tonight and tomorrow night. Thank you to those sponsors. Social events, there are no buses planned for those events. You'll walk over. It's a 15 or 20-minute walk. There are maps available. The ambassadors have some and the help desk as well. The meeting fellowships, thank you to Internet Society and the other services that are provided to help us run smoothly at NANOG and at the event itself. Code of conduct. At an event our size, we have a code of conduct. And at an event our size, there are occasionally incidents that happen. The ombuds are here to help, to mediate, and to make sure we run smoothly. They are a neutral party and they will help. This is our code of conduct. You all agreed to it as you registered. I'm going to guess you didn't all click through all of the legalese every time you say I agree and hit the checkbox. You can have a look at that. It's also available online. The NANOG Ombuds, Future Kane and Terry Dyson, they are around. They're fantastic. They're fun. Go talk to them, whether you have an issue to discuss with them or not. They're also available by the email address there on the screen, ombuds@nanog.org. Program overview, over to Stevan. It says 45 seconds, Stevan.
I know what that means. I don't talk very much. Good morning, everybody. So glad you're here. We put together a pretty big program for you all. Myself, Adair Thaxton, Liz Cully are the leaders, but really the team spends so much time and effort with the inputs we get from you, the community, to put together programs that make sense and give you what you want. Part of that program add-on is the amount of tutorials and workshops. So we're getting back to putting workshops in place. I think it's very, very important. These two we have right now, I think one is very, very hands-on. The other one is not so much, but they're both hands-on workshops. The tutorials are really across the board to help you achieve more knowledge on what's going on. The other topics are the stuff we normally have here, right? BGP, RPKI, the security track will continue on. We're actually going to try to put on 2 new tracks at the next NANOG in Atlanta for N93. So hopefully you have 2 to 3 additional tracks to go and support that stuff. There's also a special panel session on broadband network gateways to be used for access networks. So stay tuned for that. The mixer, of course, happened yesterday, is great. For future reference, women that want to participate, please come in on Saturday or Sunday morning so you can be there. It was a huge success last night. DEI, we actually talked about that this morning as well. And the newcomers, the luncheon for that is tomorrow afternoon. It's a separate luncheon from the normal lunch. Starts at 12:30 versus normal lunch being at 12 o'clock. And there'll be table topics, like you saw this morning in breakfast, at both breakfast and lunch today and tomorrow. So please sit at a table that has something and then have a chance to talk about something else besides just eating and making yourself happy. Today's keynote is from Hugh Holbrook, talking about AI and high-performance compute networks using Ultra Ethernet, trying to take away from NVIDIA, thank goodness. Those guys run too much. And then tomorrow, our spotlight topic, IPv6 for this conference. Jeff Houston will be talking about what's going on with IPv6. So that's a very, very key thing as well. Jeff, unfortunately, is not here. He's going to be remote, and I'll let him tell you why when he starts his talk tomorrow. So something to look forward to. Very important things, tip-wise, obviously the virtual chat, you all have access to that here in the room. It's a way to basically talk to those that are virtual, not here in the room itself, as well as be able to use that to do your Q&A for that. If you don't want to go up to a mic, you can go and put your question in through the Q&A tab on the virtual chat, and that will basically be looked at, in this case, by Nimrod right now. And then as we go on to other sessions, other people that are basically managing that part of the conference. And then, of course, the agenda and the presentation materials are always available online to look at to see what's going on. Lightning talks are a very important part of what we do here at NANOG. They have to be in person, so you have to be here to do it. We have basically 3 scheduled per day, Tuesday and Wednesday. You see the times there. It's important to get your abstracts in the day before the day you want to talk. You can talk on Wednesday and submit something today if you want to. Just say, I want to talk on Wednesday, and that'll be fine. But make sure you go to nanog.org/submit, put that in, and when you put that in, also include your cell phone number. That way we can notify you the day before you have been accepted, so you can get your slides done and back to us by 12 o'clock the day of the presentation. Finally, the surveys are very, very critical. The surveys are what drove us to go and put more tutorials and more workshops into this one. If we get more feedback that those were well received, you guys enjoyed, got a lot out of those things, we'll put more of that content in. You guys drive the content. All we do is, When we see the surveys, we read them, spend a lot of time diligently to go through it all, to make sure we're getting the right type of content to make you, the community, happier to be here and to get the things out of the community that you want to get and become better engineers and better administrators of your networks. Those basically come in by Friday, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We do offer a $100 gift card, and to basically give you some facts, I'm going to butcher the names, but I know the 3 guys that got those from NANOG 91. So just to know, it is real. We do give $100 gift, so do the surveys, and you will hopefully have a chance to get one of those.